Thom Hartmann here on the news. You need to know this. Taliban insurgents in Afghanistan launched a bold and deadly attack against an upscale international hotel in Kabul yesterday. At around 10 p.m., insurgents rigged with explosives rushed into the heavily secured hotel, setting off bombs and gunning down Afghan police officers and hotel guests. A standoff between the insurgents and Afghan security forces lasted until about 3 in the morning before NATO helicopters swooped in and killed the last remaining attackers holed up on the roof. That attack left 19 people dead, including the 8 attackers, and was the most complex and daring attack staged by the Taliban in Kabul since the Afghan war began 10 years ago. It's an ominous sign of the Taliban's strength today, coming just 1 week after President Obama unveiled his troop withdrawal plan and touted the success he said his troop surge had in breaking the Taliban's momentum. Clearly, after a decade of war and spending more than $3.7 trillion on military efforts in the Middle East, Afghanistan is a long way from stable, and our military presence isn't doing much to change that unpleasant reality. We need to get out of there now. The jobless are screwed in Florida. Governor Rick Scott may have just won the race to the bottom when it comes to unemployment insurance. Scott, one of America's most disliked governors, signed into law yesterday a huge reduction in Florida's unemployment benefit system, cutting the number of weeks someone is eligible to collect unemployment from 26 weeks down to just 12. The cut falls in line with Governor Scott's promise to corporations to lower their unemployment tax payments by $630 million. So again, screw over poor people to give rich businessmen tax cuts. The National Employment Law Project says Scott's unemployment cuts go further than any other state in dismantling its unemployment insurance system. Currently, Florida has one of the highest unemployment rates in the nation at 10.6%. And as we've seen elsewhere around the country, when Republican governors cut programs that keep the poor and middle class above water, then economies sink. So expect the already high unemployment rate in Florida to get even higher and cost the state even more in unemployment insurance. In the best of the rest of the news, with violence erupting in the streets outside Parliament, Greek lawmakers passed a controversial $40 billion austerity package today, chock full of spending cuts and tax hikes targeted mostly at the working class. As the vote was held, protesters stormed the finance ministry outside Parliament, breaking windows and looting the place before police repelled them. With the austerity package passed, the IMF and European Union will dish out a rescue package to Greece to avoid the nation from defaulting on its debts, at least for now. The banksters win again. Don't believe Republicans when they tell you lower taxes for rich people will create jobs for the economy. Turns out they're lying. As Republicans threaten to blow up debt limit negotiations if taxes are raised 1 nickel on their millionaire and billionaire owners, a new study by the Center for American Progress shows that historically, job creation in America is at its best when tax rates for the rich are at their highest. For example, when tax rates for the rich were at 90%, as they were under Republican President Dwight Eisenhower, employment grew at about 2% a year on average. But when tax rates for the rich were cut down to 35%, as they are today, annual employment growth far less, a measly 0.4%. The reason why? Rich people are not job creators. On the other hand, people like you and me who spend money and buy stuff create demand, which creates more jobs, which stimulates an economy. Giving a guy worth $100 million a $30 million tax cut won't create one damn job. It'll just bankrupt our government and shrink our economy. Then again, that is the Republican plan heading into 2012, to crash the economy to make President Obama look bad for the election. So with President Obama taking the Bush tax cuts off the table a couple of days ago in the debt limit negotiations, everything is going according to plan for the Republicans. Bank of America is the first big bank to get hit in the pockets for their role in the 2008 financial crisis. The bank has agreed to pay out an $8.5 billion settlement to more than 20 investors who allege the bank defrauded them with junk investments during the housing bubble. It's the biggest settlement so far against any bank that behaved badly during the subprime mortgage fiasco. Let's hope it's just the beginning, and the rest of the banksters on Wall Street are forced to pay for the damage their greed caused around our nation. Only problem? They're paying out with bailout money. Better solution? Break up the big banks like Sweden and England are doing. Arizona Governor Jan Brewer's painful cuts to Medicaid may kill another person in Arizona. This year, 135 Arizonans will likely lose their Medicaid coverage thanks to Governor Brewer's $500 million cut to that critical health care program for the poor. One of those people, Steven Stevenson, had to quit his job because of a heart condition, and now is on Social Security to make ends meet. But his Social Security payments disqualify him from Medicaid because he apparently now earns $12 too much to apply, meaning he's no longer covered for life-saving heart surgery. At least 2 people have already died in Arizona when they were denied life-saving medical procedures as a result of Brewer's Medicaid cuts intended to help balance the state's budget. That's the Republican deficit reduction strategy at work. Win balanced budgets by killing off the poor and the sick. Ayn Rand would be proud. The right wing's misinformation machine kicked into high gear yesterday to prove that Republican presidential candidate Michelle Bachmann was indeed correct when she said that John Quincy Adams, our nation's 6th president, was one of the founding fathers. Only problem, at the time the Declaration was signed, he was 9 years old. But I guess the facts, when they're not on your side, you might as well make them up. Isn't that what the Republican motto is or something like that? Or rewriting Wikipedia. And that's the way it is today, Wednesday, June 29th, 2011. I'm Thom Hartmann on the news.